Announcements, March 22nd, job fair from 9 to 12 here at the Fairfield Senior High School cafeteria. So that's a job fair for the district looking for employees to work in the district.
That is correct. We last held that job fair 2 years ago. It was very popular. It was our first time, and we didn't know what to expect. We had a packed house.
Nice.
And so it's a very unique opportunity for people who are interested in working in the district, not just teaching, but also non-teaching. We will have principals, assistant principals, supervisors on site to interview people who show up and who would like to interview for a job. So pretty cool opportunity. As I talked about earlier today, we often go to job fairs, but to have our very own, we were very successful 2 years ago and look forward to seeing turnout on Saturday.
Very nice. Thank you. March 31st to April 4th is spring break, no school. April 7th, school resumes. April 10th is our next board meeting at the Catherine D. Milligan Community Room at the high school, 6:30 p.m. Board member comments, Mr. Napier.
Yeah, I want to thank Mrs. Wyatt for having us out today. This is probably the most enjoyable board meeting that I've been to, getting to interact with the students, and it's pretty neat. Thank Mrs. Ogg for the study and adoption of materials, Mr. Perry for the building usage update and elevator bid, and Mr. Clemens for all the work you've done on the Forest Fair Mall project. And I would like to call for a rematch. Mr. Crapo will be our fourth player. I'm not a sore loser. I just don't like to lose.
Thank you. Mrs. Gundrum.
I also want to thank Mrs. Wyatt and the Wacky Watermelons for hosting us here tonight. I always enjoy taking this on the road. And I really don't remember having a meeting here since I've been on the board. And like I said, definitely did not disappoint. It was fun. It was fun to get to interact with the kids there. I know we were on a grown-up team, came in second. And but afterwards, getting to help the kids that were still putting their cups together was a lot of fun. So I very much appreciate being here tonight.
Yeah. Thank you. Mrs. Bernie Miller.
I also want to thank Ms. Watt for having us here at elementary. I'm happy to be able to interact with the kids. I remember my first time on the road at South Elementary, or I'm sorry, yeah, South, where we ate bugs. Sorry, West. It was West. Where we all had some crickets, and we tried to make a wreath out of Pringles. So there was no competition that time, but I'm happy to say this time we got a fun little race and got to interact with the kids. And I love doing that, and I love seeing that, and I would love more of that interaction with the students. Because the presentations are wonderful, and I appreciate they always come in presenting, but it's even more impactful when we're face-to-face and hands-on with them. So I really appreciate that. Mandy, thank you so much, as always, for keeping us up to date on everything, and always, I know it's part of your job, but I appreciate you coming and bringing that information to us so that we can all stay informed on what's going on with the curriculums and making sure that we're super diligent with keeping up to what the standards are and making sure we're being cognizant of our funds and stuff like that. So thank you as much for your hard work. Lance, thank you so much for making sure and looking at our usage and making sure we are updating that so that we're not creating a deficit essentially when we could be increasing those based off of the property value in our employees' rates. So I appreciate you looking into that and updating that. And I'm very glad to hear that we're going to get the elevators up to date, and we're going to do it not on school year, which I didn't think you were, but I'm glad to hear that we were looking out to do that. John, thank you so much for making sure that clause was in there for the initial get-go and that you protected the school district unlike some of the other districts. And so I appreciate your work on that and to keep diligent on it, to be able to, I don't know, 11 years later, how many, 14 years later?
14, yeah.
Looking back and making sure that we are going to collect on what is due to us per our agreement with them. So I appreciate all of that. That's it. I don't know about the breath.
Thank you. Ms. Clark?
And I'll just start off where you finished up. Yes, John, thank you again for that due diligence and then your perseverance. How about that?
Look at
How
that.
about that? Yeah. And I just thought that just rolled out.
You're so smart.
But that does mean a lot. And you know, in a serious note to the community, that's what this district does. You know, we watch out for the financial good stewardship of the finances and doing what's right for the students, the district, and the residents itself. So thank you, John. I appreciate that. I do want to say I had the privilege of reading to some man, my tongue is just not working tonight. Some third graders at West a couple weeks ago with some fellow Rotarians from on the board here and then from Rotary, and I got to read a book about pizza, which was amazing because Mr. Hustle, that's my favorite food group is pizza. Yes, so that's always fun. Mrs. Aug, thank you again for your due diligence as well with all the extra work to put into making things simpler for the future and making things more efficient. Really appreciate that. And congratulations to all the students and parents who were attended the Crystal Super Bowl Classic last weekend. It's always amazing. If anybody has never been to that, I highly encourage that you attend at least an hour because it's about 24 hours of activity that's supposed to be over in 8 hours or something
Yeah,
like that.
16 hours approximately, but it's usually about 17 or
Yeah, but it's an exciting event and it's full of energy. So, and lastly, Principal White, thank you for having us and Wacky Watermelons. Good job. Like my fellow board member said, it's great to interact with the kids, whether it's eating bugs or picking up cups with rubber bands. It's always fun. So thank you for hosting us, and we truly appreciate everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you. I too wanted to mention the Right to Read week is next week at Central, but it has been different weeks in March throughout the different elementary schools, and I think the board's had a chance or will have an opportunity to read to the students, and anytime we have a chance to interact, well, that's really why we're up here, right? And it's a wonderful reminder of that, and as Mr. Napier said, one of the best things about being a board member, right? It's enjoyable. So please, that's a great program. Glad we're participating in it. I do want to mention the food drive, right? So Mr. Smith and staff and admin team heard of a need, right? So the Fairfield Food Pantry is very low on food, and so he challenged the district in quick order to start a food drive that really runs through the 27th of March. So it starts quick and ends quick, but would encourage the community to support it in any way they can. There's a collection already here and at each school, right?
at each school. That is correct.
So it shouldn't be too hard to get food there, and there is a need in the community. So thank you to Mr. Smith to availing the schools to that, and would challenge the community to support it just as the board has tonight. And again, I just piggybacking what everyone said about our experience tonight and my new friend Lucy.
Yes.
That's wonderful. Good stuff. We will now recess to executive session to discuss court action RC 121-22G3 pending and imminent litigation and collective bargaining RC 121-22G4. Do I have a motion to
I make
convene
a
to
motion.
executive session?
Second.
Mr. Napier and Mrs. Birding Miller, Mrs. Gundrum, call the roll.
Mrs. Birding Miller,
Yes.
Mr. Begley,
Yes.
Mr. Clark,
Yes.
Mr. Napier,
Yes.
Mrs. Gundrum, yes.
We will adjourn to executive session at 7:50?
1.
7:51. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.